Hi folks, this is Pete Lane. Welcome to another Aira presentation. Today I had the pleasure of speaking with Scott Brockman. Scott is the president and CEO of the Memphis Shelby County Airport Authority. In this capacity, Scott manages an authority comprised of 3 major airport facilities. But the focus of my interview today was the Memphis International Airport and its entry as the first airport to participate in the new and innovative Aira Airport Network program. So what is Aira exactly? Aira is a product consisting of smart glasses with a tiny high-resolution camera built in, an app on a smartphone, and a specially trained agent who describes images captured on this video camera. To use Aira, a blind person taps on the smartphone app and contacts an agent. When the agent answers the call, not only can he describe what the camera sees, but he can also pick up GPS and Google Maps information to tell the agent what is geographically in your area. Aira does not replace your cane, your guide dog, or your travel skills, but it certainly enhances your toolbox of blindness skills. People can use Aira in airports, in malls, they can take Aira shopping, and they can perform a number of household tasks such as preparing and cooking meals, setting your thermostat, and reading your mail. People have taken Aira to amusement parks, Arlington National Cemetery, and to put together furniture. What you can do with Aira is limited only by your imagination. And now, let's meet Scott Brockman.
My role at Memphis International Airport is the Chief Executive Officer. And Memphis Shelby County Airport Authority actually has 3 airports. Memphis International Airport is the largest of the 3. I think we're probably about the 55 to 60th largest airport in the United States from a standpoint of passenger activity. We are the largest airport in the United States from a standpoint of cargo activity, and number 2 in the world behind Hong Kong. About 5,000 acres and a tremendous wealth of activity out here, so it's a fun job.
Scott brought considerable experience with him to Memphis.
I've been at Memphis Airport Authority for almost 15 years. This is my 4th airport. I actually started my aviation career about 32 years ago in Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida. The opportunity for Memphis came up, and it was extremely intriguing because they had a passenger transfer hub for Northwest Airlines, but also the tremendous size of the cargo operation. Memphis International Airport is the world's busiest airport between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. because of the overnight FedEx delivery service, which is headquartered in Memphis, and we're the only airport in the FedEx system that has a direct link to every other market served by FedEx. So we're very blessed in that regard because it certainly is a tremendous economic driver for the Memphis community.
It was gratifying to hear Scott's commitment to accessibility.
You know, I look at it as accessibility is just a high priority as all of the rest of my goals for customer service. When I became CEO in 2014, I embarked on a path to sort of change the culture of the airport from a standpoint of customer service. So I embarked on a program with our tenant partners, other people that are engaged with us, to develop a program which I called a positively memorable travel experience. And memorable is, of course, spelled capital M, capital E, capital M, which is our designator, MEM. And that entailed making sure really that every person that walks in the doors of this airport gets to experience the same product, one that is positively memorable, one that leaves you with a feeling that you are special, that we wanted you here.
I asked Scott how he learned about Aira.
I am currently the chairman of a national association that also has an international arm, which is the American Association of Airport Executives. About 850 airports, about 5,500 members. They asked me if I wanted to do an article for their airport magazine as chairman and as the moderator, and I picked technology. And as a part of the research for that project, I was introduced to Aira. They ended up being one of the 3 technologies that were included within my panel, which was information technology that will change how we operate and develop airports in the future. I was so impressed with the Aira product and so impressed with their team that before we ever did the studio roundtable, I had already started in the process to put the technology in my airport. What changed my mind and drove me to want to implement the Aira program so passionately for my airport was the fact that it allows a sight-impaired or blind person to experience the airport the same way as others do. They just do it with a technology that uses someone else's eyes and a pair of glasses that have a high-def camera on it, or your camera on your phone if that's what you choose to use as a Aira member. But it allows someone to be your concierge, if you will, and we'll talk you through the experience of what you're navigating at the airport. So if someone who is visually impaired wants to get up from the hold room and go to a restaurant and get something to eat or something to drink, they can do that on their own. They don't have to wait for someone to come and escort them or try to stop people and ask questions of where something is.
Scott immediately enrolled the Memphis International Airport in the new and innovative Aira Airport Network program.
To me, it was a no-brainer in the process of providing what I call that positively memorable travel experience. I was so impressed with the product and so impressed with the technology and what it can do to enhance that experience that I couldn't wait to get it installed here. And when Kevin with Aira told me no other airport had provided it, I said, we have to change that, but I'm going to certainly be the first. We were really proud to be the first. My board, my staff, the local community all very much embraced the forward thinking of this airport authority and trying to do things that, I work in terms here of saying, you know what, when in doubt, do the right thing. To me, implementing this technology, this advancement, was nothing more than doing the right thing.
So no doubt there's a cost to the airport authority. What's in it for Memphis?
What we did was set up agreements with Aira so that we would purchase bulk minutes and then advertise and market the program, not only in our local community, but also as we roll out other things that we include the Aira technology in the passenger amenities that we offer. And my goal would then be that travelers might specifically use Memphis because of that. We could become their airport of choice because we are willing to provide these services for our sight-impaired or blind travelers. Based upon the amount of minutes that they estimate, it's hard to estimate the cost, but I'm guessing that it could run $50,000 to $100,000 a year for us to provide this service. If I'm successful, and we certainly do attract a passenger base that's willing to fly through Memphis or out of Memphis because of that service, I would welcome that cost as an amenity to provide. And we introduced this at our board, and they were very impressed with the Aira representatives that were there. As a matter of fact, one of the representatives actually, to prove how the technology worked, had a Aira concierge on the line and had the concierge describe the room as the individual walked around. He navigated my boardroom without assistance, stopped and allowed the agent on the other end of the line describe what he was encountering. So it was a fabulous experience, and it just talked about just how vivid that experience can be with that individual on the other line.
So what does this actually entail for the Memphis International Airport to implement this Aira network program? What are the mechanics?
There's not a resource outlay necessary to equip the airport because what we've done is work with them to put a geofence around the airport that identifies when someone with the Aira app enters into our space, if you will. And if that person has the Aira app, when they get within proximity of the airport, if they activate that app and link in to the Aira person as part of the program, what we've done is said the Memphis Shelby County Airport Authority will pay for the minutes that person uses while a customer at my airport. So someone may have a subscription to Aira, but when they come onto my airport, because of my commitment to provide that service to everyone in an equal way, we're paying for those minutes.
Let me elaborate a little more on how this program works. This program benefits current Aira users. When an Aira user approaches a participating airport, they should receive a notification from the Aira app that they have entered into a site access network. Be sure that your GPS is turned on in order to facilitate this. Whenever you are within the range of that network, your minutes while using Aira are paid for by the participating airport. So to be clear, your call while you're in a site access location is completely free to you. There is no limit on the number of minutes that will be covered by the airport, but keep in mind that the airport has paid for those minutes and they are intended for all Aira users who enter that airport space. So try to be prudent with those minutes. Any site access minutes as a result of airport network calls will be shown in your usage screen on your Aira app. I then asked Scott if there was any way that blind or visually impaired individuals who were not currently Aira users could participate in this program. Here's his response.
You know what? We hadn't gotten that far. As we said, we just implemented it about 3 weeks ago. But it's an interesting thought process of how do we take this program a step further. Maybe we end up with some supply of the Aira glasses and, if someone does not have them, they can utilize us as a point to get enrolled while they're here. And that's actually a great idea. And I'm making a note of that as we're speaking because our goal is really pretty simple. I want everybody that uses this airport to get to the other end and say, you all ought to do what Memphis does. If we do that in all the things that we do, we're going to be a success. I appreciate you suggesting that because we will certainly engage with Aira and see how we go about that.
And could it be offered to prospective travelers who are blind or visually impaired when they're booking their flights?
Well, that gets into that personal information. The airline would have to notify us of that because, if someone books a flight, like a travel agent books a flight for someone, there are boxes where you can select special services because I do it for my mother-in-law and my mother and request a wheelchair because my mother has to have knee replacement surgery and really can't see well enough to read signage any distance away from herself. But part of it is not forcing somebody to have to sit in a wheelchair and depend on someone else to get them places. And so to me, that's the great part about it. And if we could provide that amenity here at the airport, that would be great. I'm not quite sure what the rules are, though, for that disclosure of that quote-unquote could be considered medical information. But I'll certainly talk to our airline partners about that, and I'll talk to Aira about, maybe they know a way for us to try to obtain that data. Maybe we work with the airline so that when someone is flying out of Memphis, if they have marked that, where they get an email from Delta or American or United or whoever that says, by the way, Memphis Airport is an Aira partner airport. I appreciate you suggesting it because it's a great idea.
As Scott mentioned earlier in our interview, he is the chairman of the National Association of Airport Executives. I wondered if this gave him a unique position from which to share information about this Aira program with other airports.
You know what, I think it does, and quite honestly, I was on a trip I left about 2 days after the board meeting when we introduced this. I was so excited, about implementing the program that I talked to a number of them. And I have, of course, Aira's contact information on my phone, and I sent it to a couple people. As a matter of fact, this morning, I got a call from another airport who said, hey, we've seen the news on you implementing this program. We want to look into it ourselves because, we want to provide that same superior level of service. And so I spent about 15 minutes on the phone with them and gave them all my contact information. The person said, okay, you've sold me. And I said, well, I'm not done yet. I'm a very passionate guy to start with. And when something is really a cut above in what it can do, then that gets me even more excited. And then the Aira technology was just one of those things that, I guess at some point I ought to get a commission.
With Scott Brockman, the commitment to accessibility is clear.
I was on a national panel. One of the questions they asked, there were like 5 of us, and they asked each one of us what keeps us up at night as airport CEOs. So I said, look, I have 2. One is, of course, safety, which everyone in my position worries about because of the world we live in today. The other one is technology, and it keeps me up at night because I want to make sure that my organization is poised to always be able to take advantage of those technologies that can enhance the traveler experience, that can make things more efficient, more effective, can make it better, can advance our national aviation system in a way that if we're not at the top worldwide, we ought to be moving fast to get there.
Let's have a brief listen now as Greg Stillson shares his navigation of O'Hare Airport using Aira.
My name is Greg Stillson, and this is my Aira story. I attend a large conference in Orlando, Florida every July, but this would be my first with Aira. The flight back home was where Aira really shined for me. I was scheduled to go from Orlando through O'Hare and land in Madison, Wisconsin, where I live. In O'Hare, I had about a 60-minute layover to go from the C gates to the F gates, which is about a 20 to 25-minute walk. Totally doable, right? Well, we all board in Orlando and everything seems fine. Then the pilot comes on the PA system and you all know what happened. We have a short maintenance issue they are working on and we should get it resolved shortly. Well, shortly turned into a half an hour waiting on the tarmac, causing me to land in Chicago O'Hare with about 20 minutes to get to my next gate. Upon landing in O'Hare, because I have always had terrible luck with the assistants in airports, I called Aira. While taxiing, I talked with Aira Agent David, who was super proactive. I told him the gate I was landing at and where I needed to go. He mapped out an entire route for us to use as soon as I exited the plane. With David in one ear, I got off the plane and sure enough, someone was there to meet me. However, they claimed they had to wait for 2 other wheelchairs to get off before helping me. I immediately declined their assistance and made a run for it. David knew I would be moving quickly and was incredible about directing me to the clearest path. Things like, "Greg, move on the left side of the aisle so you can pass these folks walking slowly." Or, "Greg, the right side of the aisle is more clear and we can go faster." Thanks to David and Aira, I made my next flight as they were boarding. In addition, he did mention people were staring at me open-mouthed as I ran through the airport. I suppose the sight of a blind guy running with a cane and a roller suitcase without assistance wasn't something they see every day. But I can say I would not have caught that flight without Aira's help.
Since I chatted with Scott Brockman, the Minneapolis International Airport has joined Memphis in the new Aira Site Access Airport Network program. For a blind or visually impaired traveler, even the simplest encounter with an airport is challenging. Certainly, Aira makes the situation much easier. And with the Aira Airport Network program, the cost of such experiences will be significantly lower to the traveler. If you would like to contact your local airport to engage them in this innovative program, they can find out more details and subscribe to the program at the following website: go.aira.io/Aira Airport. That's go.aira.io/AIRAAIRPORT. We'd like to thank Scott Brockman for taking the time to chat with us, and we'd like to congratulate Memphis International Airport for being the first airport to join the Aira Network program. This presentation has been brought to you by Aira. For more information about Aira or to subscribe to their product, check them out on the web at www.aira.io. Thanks to Chichow for this amazing music. You can find him on Twitter at Chichow. Thanks so much for listening and have a great day.